Hello, hi there. Welcome back to our channel. Welcome to today's video. Welcome. We are so excited to have you again. We are so happy to be bringing you this content. We are so excited to be digging deep into bringing you this amazing content. Remember, we say this channel, we are dedicating it into winning. It's all about winning. It's all about overcoming. It's all about becoming. Okay, so if you're out there and you need something, you need some content that will really stir you up on the inside, that will really inspire you, that will really change you, that will really leave you a changed and a better person, this is the right place to be. All right, so stay tuned. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for keeping it close. Thank you for subscribing, and I will also always remind you to subscribe so that you can know the next minute we upload a new video. Also share, help us spread this positive vibe and help us spread this amazing content. So we are so happy once again to have you, and I'm so excited about the topic we are having today. Oh, I am over the moon about it, because it is a topic that has really called out so much in me. It has really called out a lot that was in me that I didn't know it was there. So I'm so excited to be bringing you the content of this topic. All right, so stay tuned. Let us go step by step. It is a journey. We said it is a journey, and every step in this journey, it's going to count. Every step counts, no matter how small and no matter how little the step is, it will always count. All right, so right into our topic. Today, I'm so happy to bring you this topic, and today we are going to talk about, we are going to really expound, or we are really going to dive in. We're going to dive in heads first. We're going to dive in, and we're really going to talk about something I have found really important, and this something, it is about family. Our family, because the topic I want us to talk about today is generational treasures. Generational treasures. What do I mean by that? I mean this. In a family, in your family, in my family, we are really going to talk about families today. In our family, there are some things that are hidden there. And do you know why they are hidden? Because according to God, a family is the most important unit of existence. And if it is an important unit of existence, it means there is a purpose that is hidden in a family. All right, so God did not just wake up and decided to make a family because he just wanted to see many people in the world. No, it was intentional. He was intentional about it. And when I tell you that it is the most treasured unit of existence, that is what I mean. Because in that family, God has hidden something. You will come with me and I will show you something. And I will tell you that as human beings, as normal human beings, when we want to hide something of value, when we want to hide something of treasured value, do you know where we will hide it? I personally, maybe I will hide it under the bed. I will hide it, somewhere very safe. Or maybe I will take it to the bank. I will lock it in the safe in the bank, because it is something that I treasure. It is something that I value. It is something that I cannot joke with. All right, it is a treasure, so I will hide it there. All right, and nobody will be able to see where I have hid that thing, and I will be the only one with the key to that treasure. All right, so the same thing with God. When he invented family, it was his way of hiding treasures in people, of hiding a treasure in that somebody, hiding a treasure in your family, in you. Yeah, that is it. He hid something in your family, and that is what we are going to talk about today. We are going to talk about generational treasures, and this is the way of God to make sure that his reality is felt by the world. His reality is packaged, and it is seen. Okay, it is felt, it is touched by the world. His reality is felt by the world. That is why he hid something in the family. And we're going to talk about generational treasures. And as we are talking about this, I want you at the back of my mind to dive into your family or any family you know, and you will realize that there is something about God that wants to come out in that family. There's something of importance that wants to manifest in that family. And there are so many vices that surround our family. There are so many disadvantages that we find ourselves in. But I tell you what, don't focus on the negative. I want to bring your eye into the eye of God. I want to show you a treasure that is hidden in your family. These are generational treasures. And these ones, if we discover them, if we realize them, they are going to become a highway into our destiny. They are going to usher us very fast into our destiny. Okay, so it is very important that we become aware of the purpose of a family. We become aware of the reality that is locked up in this institution called a family. All right, because once we are aware, then it will become like a snap of the finger for us to get into our destiny. Because most of us, we find ourselves suffering, trying so many things, trying things here and there, but they are all good, because that is what makes the story. That is what makes the process. It is amazing. It is lovely to have that. But I tell you what, once you discover this treasure hidden in a family, you will be amazed. You will be amazed of what you can become on account of being conjoined with that family, being in that family. All right, so without further ado, I would like us to dive deep into this family treasure that I have found, that I want us to talk about. And at the back of your mind, I want you to dive into your family. I want you to see the treasure that has been hidden there in God. And in most cases, you will find that there are some families excel in certain area. Some families are known for something they do. Some families are known for a certain character. Okay, it means that thing. Remember, today we are focusing on the positive. That thing, that beautiful thing you see, that something you hear about a certain family, that is called a treasure. That is called a treasure. And if there is going to be somebody whose eyes will be opened, whose eyes will see beyond the human fence, whose eyes will see deeper beyond the disadvantages that are surrounding that family. If there is going to be one person that will see beyond, that person will carry the treasure of that family, or rather that person will carry the flag of that family. And I will tell you that the fact that God invented a family, it was his way of making sure that there is a continuity in his heritage. All right, that his realities are locked up in a family, and they are able to be passed on into a generation. You see how a family is important? Yeah, it is very important in the eyes of God. And that is why you see the devil always will fight with the family, because he knows that there lies a treasure. That treasure can bring havoc. All right, that treasure can cause exploits to be seen and to be heard in the universe. It can cause exploits to be heard by the world. So let us dissect this family treasure. Let us see the intentions of God, because he was so intentional about it when he invented the unit of a family, called the unit of existence called a family. All right, so you will find that even in where I come from, where you come from, we all know. It is only that we are ignorant, that we don't want to admit, or we don't want to see. All right, so we will be going about with our normal business and maybe trying some things that we fail in over and over and over, and I said it is God that is making a story. That is the process. All right, but it will be very, very important. It will be very, very advantageous of you to realize the treasure that is hidden in your family. That is what we are calling generational treasures. All right, and this one we have really let me just talk a little bit about. We have we have authored a book that is entitled The Treasure That Is Hidden Within You, and in this book we have really expounded about this treasure and some other treasures that we have stumbled along the way. All right, with the help of God. So Once it's out, it's in its production state. Once it's out, we'll let you know, because we wouldn't want you to miss that copy, because it is got amazing content. So back to this topic of generational treasures. You will realize that if you open your eyes really wide, really big, okay, you will realize that there is something in your family that maybe your great grandmother was good at, and you realize that that's something maybe your mother or your aunt or a close relative of you is good at it. All right, and then you will realize that in your now generation, you realize that maybe you or somebody else, your brother, your sister, your siblings, any of them, your cousin, you realize that somebody has taken after that thing. All right, and you realize that those people who follow in that lineage, they don't really struggle. Okay, they don't break a sweat. It is like it happens about like this. It just happens to them. Even if they go through the process, the trial, the error, and all that, you realize that no matter how many times they fall, they will always get up, because there's something that is driving them into it. The blood lineage is calling them into manifesting of that treasure. All right, you find that no matter how much you try, if you've been called and ordained to carry the flag of the treasure that is hidden in your family, you will realize that no matter how much you try to run away from it, no matter how much you try to look into the other direction, you will realize that thing will keep calling you. It will keep calling you. It will keep calling you. And if you excel in other chosen career that you have chosen, you will realize even at some point you will leave that career and you will come back and focus on the treasure that is hidden in your veins, in your blood lineage. Yeah, it is calling you. It has to call you, because that is the way. That is one way of God, making sure that his dimensions are seen and they are trafficked into the world. That is why he will hide it in a family. He will make sure there's a certain family that healing flows. He will make sure that there's another family that harbors a certain kind of treasure, like wealth. And you realize that there's also another family that they manifest the treasure of being merchants. They are great and amazing merchants. You realize that that person who comes in that particular lineage, he can even start something very small. He or she can even be selling water on the road, and you find that person really excels and really becomes wealthy in that lineage. Woe unto you if you try the same thing and that is not in your line. You will realize that you will not only fall, you will be devastated and frustrated, and you will start talking ill of this person who has excelled in the same field. So it is very, very important from where we are sitting from. It is very important to know, to be sure. I'm not saying it is a must for all of us who has come from a certain lineage to follow that. I'm not saying it is a must, because all of us, we harbor different dimensions in God. We harbor different realities in God. But there's always that 1, 2, or 3 people in a certain lineage that God will use to make sure his heritage is preserved. Okay, so when you find it catching up with you, when you find this thing that your great grandmother or your great grandfather was good at, you find that this thing that you saw your uncle really excelling in and becoming a household name, if you find it catching up with you, my dear, it is time for you to pause. It is time to pause, for you to pause and really come into the reality of that thing. Okay, and realize that if you're not going to follow that line, maybe you are doomed. You could be doomed, And not all of us are chosen to carry the flag in our family. But I tell you what, if you realize there is something there's something hidden in your family, be curious to know who carries that flag. If you don't see any person carrying that flag, the fact that you have come into the realization that there is something, you could be that someone. All right, so step into that awareness, and this will exempt when you realize the treasure hidden in your family, this generational treasure, when you realize it, it is going to exempt you from a lot of struggle. It is going to exempt you from a lot of trial and error. It is going to exempt you from a lot of here and there struggles. It is really going to exempt you. What will happen in you now? You will take the route of process. All right? Because something that has been ordained to become, it has to go through the process. But if you follow another route that you're not ordained for, what will happen in your life? You will encounter struggles. And there is a very big difference between a struggle and process. There's a thin line separating the two. But we always mix the two. You may encounter struggle and you may think it is process. You may encounter process and you may think it is struggle. So it is very important to differentiate the two things. When you're walking in your line of ordination, in the line that you are ordained to walk in, initially, what you're going to encounter is something that is called process. Yeah. But when you deviate from your original route, where you were intended to go, what you will encounter is struggle. All right? Those are two things that maybe we are going to talk about them in the next video. I'm going to remember that we are going to talk about them. So embrace this treasure that is hidden in your blood lineage. Because God, in his wisdom, in his ancient wisdom, he made sure that he invented the unit of existence called a family. Because in that, he hid his treasure. And there has to be somebody who will articulate that which is hidden in our family and carry the flag and lead our family or our generation into becoming. And when you are done by carrying the flag, you have to guard it. You have to guard that treasure, and you have to make sure you pass on the baton. You pass on the baton. Remember, you received the baton, so you're going to leave it. You're going to manifest it, and when time comes for you to retire, you will make sure you pass on the baton. That is how beautiful family is. That is how beautiful the world becomes. That is the ancient wisdom of God. That is the ancient wisdom of God. That is how it works. It is amazing. It is amazing that he will not hide his treasure in the bank. He will not hide it anywhere else. He will hide it in people. He will hide it in this unit he has invented, this unit of existence called a family. And he will make sure that through a family, he will be seen, he will be heard, and his realities will be felt by the world. Okay, so it is very important for you to find out your area of exploits on account of being born where you have been born, on account of being named how you have been named, on account of being brought up in that country you brought up. It means a lot. It means a lot. That is God's wisdom. All right, so find that treasure. We're going to be talking more and more about other treasures that God has allowed us to realize or to know. But the first one that we should be aware of is the treasure hidden in a generation. I will send you, go find out what is really speaking in your family, what is really coming out in your family. Try to articulate it, try to live, to enter into the reality of that treasure that you have come across. And don't try to fight it. Don't try to fight it. Let it just flow. Don't try to fight it. Don't. I will urge you, don't. Just flow in it. Enter into it. Let it become your reality and flow in it. Because you realize when you start flowing in it, even when you're not sure of things, that is called process. You will find that things will just find a way of happening. All right? But when you deviate when you deviate, you come into this another route, what you will experience, we have said, it is struggle. And maybe in our next video, we are going to talk about differentiating between our going through process and going through struggle. So this is amazing. We have said it is a journey. We are going to call out everything good in each and every one of us. We are going to carry the flag of overcoming and to add to the end of time. So this channel, we are dedicating it into overcoming, into winning, into everything positive, into every positive vibe. So like, share, subscribe. This will help you in knowing the next minute we upload a new video. And when you share, you help us spread this positive vibe. All right, so it is amazing. Also leave a comment, let us know what you think, let us know how you feel, let us know how we can do better, let us know how we can become better. It is all about teamwork. This is teamwork. So we value you, we appreciate you, and we love you. Thank you, and bye bye.